Shabbat Shalom, Yeshua.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. But so much goes shot. You know what? Shalom, Shabbat. Okay. You hear? We are the land of Zion.
Yeah.
We are the land of Zion. Down in South Florida, 2937 West Broad Boulevard. I am in the Lapalal. To my left is
Officer Yakazakwa Hamatazak.
we are here by so much goes shot. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to bring our people back to the nationality, the heritage, on the road to salvation. Let's go to go Colossians 3:17. Colossians 3:17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Father by him.
Right. Whatever you do, not just today, but in your daily lives. Whatever you do in all your endeavors, make sure you do it in the name of the Most High, Yahushua, God, of Christ, and all. Make sure you do it in context of the commandments, the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. Don't do things according to how you feel or you were told, but in the context of the commandments of the Bible. I see up today, I see new faces today. You know what I'm saying? That is a good thing. That means the Most High is with our people every day. That means our work is going out. The Most High's work is going out. The words of the Most High are going out. Not going, but accomplishing this mission. What? Bring his people back into the fold. And you are welcome back to your heritage. Welcome back. I said, I put emphasis on back, meaning what? It was always your heritage, just like it is mine. Understand? We're the same people. We just got so-called disenfranchised because of the wilds of the devil. But as for the Most High, we're back into Most High bring it back into a heritage. Forgot that. Josh, we're gonna go put things into historical perspective. When the Most High brought us out of Egypt in the wilderness for 40 years, we're going back now into Joshua or Joshua. The Most High used Moses for 40 years to bring us out of Egypt in the wilderness. Then he passed the baton, so to speak, to Joshua to bring us over Jordan into the land of Canaan that they promised to our forefathers. Joshua chapter.
Book of Joshua chapter 11 verse 1. The book of Joshua chapter 11 verse 1. And it came to pass when Jabin, king of Hazar, had heard these things, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, and to the king of Shemron, to the king of Aksha.
Hold on a minute. And it came to pass when Jabin, king of Hazar, had heard these things. What things?
Of the great things that we have done since we left Egypt, or the leaving of Egypt.
That's part of it. That's kind of generalized. That's kind of vague.
Okay.
What things? Anybody else?
The death of Moses.
No.
No.
When you heard these things, Yeah.
It says Joshua defeats the northern kings.
Yeah. When they heard these things, oh, the Mosai used Israel to defeat and slaughter all those kings, those other nations. Understand? When this particular king, and it came to pass when Jabin, king of Hazor, had heard these things are talking about how Israel defeated all those other kings, slaughtered them, and took their land, because that's the commandment the Most High gave to our people. Make sure you slaughter these kings and take their land, because the Most High promises land to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These lands are going to be your land going forward. So when this particular king heard these things, what happened? Read on.
And the kings that were on the north of the mountains, and the plains of Shin near Roth, and in the valley, and in the borders.
What up? Unto the kings of Shimron, unto the kings of Akron, unto the kings that were on the north of the mountains. Read on. The mountains, read on.
And the plains of the south of Shin Neroth.
The kings of the mountains and the kings of the plains, read.
And in the valley,
read on.
And in the borders of Gor on the west, and to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and to the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizite and the Jebusite in the mountains, and the Hittite under Hermon in the land of Mispeh.
Basically, the kings all around. The kings all over the place. When the kings heard, wow, because the information went out all over the place. The north, the south, the east, the west, the mountains, the valleys, everywhere. Because it was known all abroad. It was no secrets. It was no secret. What happened after that? Read on.
And they went out, and they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the seashore in multitude.
Wow. And they went out. When the kings of all these places went out, when these kings heard what the Mosai did with Israel to these other nations, they said, yo, you hear what happened? These Israelites come on to Egypt with Moses, with Joshua. With Joshua, they slaughter our people, man. What are we gonna do? I said, we gotta do something. We gotta stop them. So the kings of all over the places, they started collaborating, communicating with each other. And say, we gotta stop these guys. We gotta stop them. If we don't stop them, they're gonna destroy us. And they went out, they and all their hosts with them. Much people. How many people? Much people, even as the sand that is on the sea. Yo. You ever been to the beach?
Yeah.
Been to the beach? Not insulted, but did anyone ever call the sand of the seas?
No.
Are you even estimate the sand of the seas? How many sands do you think that was? Innumerable, right? You can sound it a whole lot of sand. So for every bit of sand and the sea, that's one person. That's how many people was coming up against our people Israel at the time. A whole lot of people coming against us. You know what I'm saying? Because us coming to Egypt, the Moses said, you're gonna fight against all these nations all these nations that are going to come against you. But don't fear. I got you. Listen, right now, we are like a minority. But guess what? The Most High got us. That was the old Exodus. Right now we're coming up on the new Exodus. Those are the Most High had us back then. Guess what? The Most High got us in this new Exodus. Believe that. We are the same people. We transgressed against the Most High. We got separated from the Most High because of our transgression. But the Most High bring us back to Him again. You know what I'm saying? And those that the Most High had us back in the days, in these days, the Most High got us again. Believe that. That's what it is. Read on, bro.
And they went out, and they and their horses with them. Much people, even as the sand that is upon the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots, very many. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel.
Yeah. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together as the waters of Miriam and fight against Israel. Because right now, that's how it is. Everybody is against Israel right now. We ain't got no friends, man. We ain't got no friends. Everybody, even our own people, are our enemies. Even our own people are enemies because they want to be down with the white man, the other nations, because it's so convenient to them. Because they've been suffering so long. We've been suffering so long. Looks like our enemy can give us a little something. You know what I'm saying? And we're willing to sacrifice our own people to get a little something from the so-called white man and the other nations. That's what it is. All our people are enemies. The other nations, the only ally we got is the Most High and the Master God shot and our own people in the truth. Ain't got nobody else. So that's why we got to come together and hold fast. Read on, bro.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, be not afraid because of them.
Right.
For tomorrow, about this time, will I deliver them all slain before Israel.
Right. It's the Most High said, what? Yeah. It looks like we are a minority. It looks like we are overpowered. It looks like the majority. Hold on. Don't be afraid of them. Don't slack off. Don't conform to their ways because they'll outnumber you. You know what I'm saying? Don't conform to the ways because they'll outnumber you. Because they look like the majority. Don't celebrate their Christmas because you're in a job and everybody else is doing it. Don't celebrate the Thanksgiving because you're in the job and all your co-workers are doing the same thing. As Hebrew Israelites, take comfort and refuge in the fact that you're different. Take comfort in that. You know what I'm saying? Give me Exodus 2:23. Moshe and Shaddai to the one of my favorite scriptures.
It says in the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 23. The book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass in process of time.
Hold on. I gotta make sure this. I gotta make sure I've been there like while. Exodus.
22. And 23. Oh no, 2. Exodus 2.
2. Okay, okay. The scripture I'm looking for is scripture I'm looking for is 23 and 2.
What is that?
Oh yeah. The scripture is 23 and 2. I'm sorry. 23 verse 2.
23.
Exodus 23 verse 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Yeah. Don't do what you see other people doing. Don't do what you see them doing. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Because it's, don't be a part of it on the popularity contest. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Read.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many rush judgment.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to do us judgment. See, part of what other people are doing, you know what I'm saying? Because it looks popular. So don't because everybody's celebrating Christmas, don't follow that. They're celebrating Hanukkah, because they're celebrating Thanksgiving, don't follow that. They're celebrating New Year's, don't follow that. Because they're celebrating Halloween, don't follow that. Because they're celebrating all these different holidays, don't follow that, man. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I had a precept for
Right.
Jeremiah 10 and 2. Don't follow the ways of the heathen, don't be dismayed.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, follow that. Get it out. Jeremiah 10 verse 2.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right. Thus said the who? The Most High. Read it again. Thus said the Most High. Read on.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus said the Most High.
Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't follow the ways of the other nations. Or even the ways of our people who follow the ways of the other nations. Understand? Don't be a copycat. Hold fast to what you know to be righteous. What's righteous? The scriptures. The laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Read on.
Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. When you see certain signs that people are popular, people to say, okay, this is what this means, that's what that means. Don't put what they're saying.
Like them horoscopes.
Yeah, don't put it. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
All right, go back to Joshua. Go ahead. Got a question, brother?
So verse 3 said, their ways is vain.
The ways of vain mean what? What does vain mean? Have no profit.
Right.
It's not come to naught.
It
looks like it's gonna come to something, but eventually, you're gonna see something. Nothing. Yeah, I'm saying. Just like Christmas, New Year's, all those holidays. You know what I'm saying? What profit do you get from all those? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? That those holidays don't teach you who you are. Christmas don't tell you who you are. New Year's don't tell you who you are. Thanksgiving don't tell you who you are. They're vain. What profit do you get from all those holidays? Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, you get more loss.
Independence Day economy. Yeah, that's it.
You get more loss than everything else.
On every holiday.
You know what I'm saying? Because we just had the new moon the other day. According to the so-called white man, according to so-called Jews, they call it Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. The New Year, we know according to most times, New Year's is what? Springtime.
Yeah.
It's New Year's, that the head of the year. So crazy. So they're telling it's a backward. You know what I'm saying? And them so-called Chinese, I guess in January, I don't know when they got the so-called New Year. So the different nations have their so-called New Year, different times of the year. But the most I tell us, what's a New Year? The month of Abib. Understand? When you have about Passover. Yeah. Somebody got a question?
That's all they use for is replenish their economy.
Huh?
That's all they use for replenish their economy. You don't gain nothing.
Right, exactly.
All the holidays, but the stove be empty.
Exactly. Because you have these different you have this for sale, that for sale, and I'm saying. So they encourage the people to go buy all this stuff to celebrate these various holidays. But it's one day. It's crazy. But it's one day, and the next day what? You're broke. Especially with people. The next day you're broke. You got bills to pay, you got rent to pay, you got this to pay, all these different bills to pay. And you're broke.
Your little kids feel good though.
That's why it's vain.
Yeah.
Of no value. What did it profit you? Absolutely nothing. It didn't profit your household. It didn't profit you as a person to let you know who you are, constitute your true nationality. It didn't bring you any closer to the Most High. That's vain. Any more than that? Go ahead, Joshua.
7:25.
The book of Joshua, chapter 11, verse 7. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom. Suddenly, all they fell upon them, and the Lord and the Most High delivered them into the hand of Israel.
See that? All those different nations came against Israel. But what? The Most High delivered all those nations into the hand of Israel. Just like right now, all these different nations against us. But in due time, the Most High will deliver all those nations into our hands. Just keep these commandments, know who you are. What?
Psalms 2 and 8.
Psalms 2 and 8. Get that. Psalms 2 and 8. Psalms 2 verse 8. It's not about numbers. In various examples in the scriptures, the Most I will show you that He is in charge. That's why the Most I never used a whole lot of people of Israel to fight against other nations. The Most I always used a few people in Israel to fight against the multitude of other nations. So He can show you, as Hebrew Israelites, that Your strength is because of him. Understand? You are able to defeat all these people because the Most High is strengthening you. Get that. Psalms 2 and 8.
Well, it's Psalm chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
See that? Yo. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathens for a name. Read it again out.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance.
Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathens for an inheritance. That's what the most I tell you what. Ask of him. Ask of him. That means you gotta go to him. Trust in him. Know that you are his. Know that you belong to him. Ask of him, and he will give you the heathens for an inheritance. What's inheritance? Something that belongs to you.
Yes.
Something that's passed on from generation to you. Because right now, the nation ruling over us. But guess what? They really are our inheritance. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy though. Seems crazy. Right now, our inheritance are ruling over us. Yeah. Because what? Because we don't trust in the Most High. As a people. The Most High said, ask of him, and he shall give the heathens for an inheritance. So if you trust in the Most High and ask of him collectively, he'll give Esau and all these other nations as an inheritance to us. But right now, though, it's the opposite. These heathens are ruling over us. Because what? We're not keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. We are being disobedient to the Most High. Read. More of that. Psalms 2.
And the uttermost parts of the earth were thy possession.
And the uttermost parts of the earth. What does that mean? The uttermost part of the earth. The whole entire earth, the whole entire planet. The uttermost part of the earth. I don't know how much you all know about geography. But geography speaking, it's talking about because remember the Most High scattered Israel all over the earth, amongst all nations of the earth, that we were a minority amongst the different nations. And because we were a minority among the different nations, these different nations rule over us. Because what? We disobeyed the Most High. But if we will come back to a nationality, repent, and keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and ask of the Most High, it would turn things around. I was ruling these different nations, and it will in due time, because we of our own free will won't do it. We will repent. Moses is going to force us to repent, because we are the Most High's people. We are the Most High's people. We are. And the Most High ain't going to change that. Understand? We want to change that, because we want to follow the ways of the other nations. But the Most High won't allow that. Because the Most High created us to be his. He created Israel to serve him. Only Israel, the Most High created to serve him, but because we refuse to serve him, he had us serve in other nations. But the Most High is going to force us to serve him. But we're gonna serve the Most High what? In righteousness. Give me Hosea 5:15 now. Hosea 5:15. But we're not gonna serve the Most High as we feel like, or when we feel like. Because if that's up to us, we will never do that. All we want to do is party. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. As long as we hold the food on the table. You know, that's the problem with people, man. We don't realize that we were meant to rule the other nations. We got so comfortable with the other nation ruling over us. But if you only knew that we were meant to rule these other nations. Here they are, 5:15. Hosea 5:15.
We'll go Hosea chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
And then Moses said, he will go and return to his place. What does that say? What does the Moses say by that? He will go and return to his place. The Moses said what?
He's not with us.
He's going to take away himself from you.
Turn it back.
I will go and return to my place. That means previously the Moses I was saying what? I was close to you. I was chilling, I was hanging with you, chilling with you and all that. You know what I'm saying? But no, I will go and return. I'm going to step back. Stay over there. Yeah. I can't chill with you no more. What was wrong with that? You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Yeah. Go on, yeah. Read on.
We'll go Hosea chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place
Right.
till they acknowledge their offense.
Until you acknowledge your offense. The most thing gonna hang with you until you realize, yo, bro, you messed up. We messed up. How do we mess up? By disobeying his commandments. What are the most commandments? Read the Bible. Read from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. We keep Torah up in here. We keep Torah. You know what I'm saying? Like next Sabbath, this is gonna be the last last chapters. Every year we keep verses that we read Torah. Now, you know what I'm saying? So the Most said that he's gonna return to his place until we acknowledge our transgression, until we admit that we messed up. So right now we don't want to admit that we messed up. But it's not go about your business like, hey, no, we don't.
And seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
Right. The Most High is going to return to his place until we seek your face. In our affliction. What's affliction? Somebody tell me, what is affliction?
Sickness, trouble,
Tribulation.
What's affliction? Punishment, all those punishment, hardship, until we afflict, and that's where we're going to afflict, and then we'll see the Most High's face. And initially, in our affliction, we're going to think that okay, I got this. We're going to think that we can handle it by ourselves. But we're going to see that now. We ain't got this. We can't do this. We need a higher power. Read again now. Read it again.
We'll go Hosea chapter 5, verse 15.
Read from the top.
We'll go Hosea chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
I will go and return to my place. Mean what? The Most High can take himself away from us. Because previously, he was so close to us. Always with us. But because we broke his laws, statutes, and commandments, took it for granted, the Most High said, yo, this can't be. I'm gonna leave you guys by yourselves. Just like I left all the other nations by themselves. Read on.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
Until you acknowledge your offense. Because our people were always offending the Most High, always breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, but we refuse to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge, admit that you broke the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Admit that you haven't keeping his laws. Admit that not personally, but I mean, the whole variety of things which were contrary to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And seek my face in their affliction.
And seek his face. You have to go, search your heart. Seek the Most High's face. Go down on your knees, look to the east, and pray to the Most High. And acknowledge that you broke his laws, statutes, and commandments, and say, yeah, I messed up. I know I was supposed to be obedient to you. And I know I've been catching hell because I've been disobedient to you. But please, acknowledge my seeking of repentance. Forgive me for my transgression. That's what the Most High is going to trust me. That you have to go to the Most High with a contrite heart. Admit. That's how you got to come to the Most High with your own personal relationship with the Most High. I know you have a relationship. The woman have a relationship with your husband, your family, but you also have to have a personal relationship with the Most High. And he will come to you. If you seek him as Hebrew Israelites, he will find you. Trust me, he will find you. Read on.
And seek my face in their affliction.
And seek his face. Seek his face in your affliction. We are being afflicted. Seek the Most High's face. In sincerity, he will be found of you. He's going to hide himself from you because you've been proud and disobedient. But the moment we turn around and try to be obedient and seek him, he will make himself known to you. Thus, there's a power. And that people think that the Most High is some kind of an abstract form. The Most High is real. He is real. He's out there. I'm saying because of the history. I'm saying, and if you acknowledge the transgression and seek the Most High, he will make himself available to you. He will make himself known to you. Read on.
And seek my face in their affliction, they will seek me early.
In their affliction, because inherently we know that. In their affliction, they would seek him early. And that's why people, when you know, everything is good, you know what I mean, everything's all right, you know what I'm saying? We don't need the most side. But everything, you know what I mean, doing the job, harassment and all that, you know what I'm saying? That's when we see the most side. When we trust in the other powers, we realize nobody cares about us. Who can turn to? Most High. In the affliction, they will seek him early. Read on. That's it. You go back to Joshua.
The book of Joshua, chapter 11, verse 8. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, who smote them and chased them unto great Zidon, and unto Mizrath Mahim, and unto the valley of Mizpeh, eastward, and they smote them until they left them none remaining.
Right. So Moses delivered all these different nations into Israel's hand. Because what? The Most High keeps covenant. The Most High keeps his end of the agreement. Because the Most High made his agreement with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That he was going to deliver all these nations into our hands. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. All those different other nations, the Most High delivering them into the hands of Joshua and the Hebrew Israelites. Read on.
And Joshua did unto them as the Lord bade him. He hauled their horses and burnt their chariots with fire.
Right. He bought he hauled the horses and burnt their chariots with fire. Yo. So don't take their Get the horses. We don't need horses. The chariots, burn them up. Chop them up. Read on.
And Joshua at that time turned back and took Hazor and smote the king thereof with the sword. For Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms.
Right, he was the ringleader. He was the one, Hazor was the one that all the different kings together to say, yo, let's go fight these Israelites. So what the Israelites did, and the ones who came to the Red Sea with Moses, all the slaughter, all the different nations in the wilderness, yo, let's roll on them out. He was like a ringleader, so Joshua get the Hazor, slaughter Hazor, you know.
And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was not any left to breathe. And he burnt Hazor with fire, and all the cities of those kings.
Burn them up with fire. Burn Hazor with fire, man. That's the king of that city. Read.
And all the kings of them did Joshua take, and smote them with the edge of the sword. And he utterly destroyed them, as Moses, the servant of the Adawan, commanded.
Right. That's what Moses said. Moses said, slaughter these kings. And that's exactly what Joshua did. Slaughter those kings. Hazor and all those different kings who come together as an alliance, a conglomerate, to fight against Israel. Joshua is like slaughter those kings. Read on.
But as for the cities that stood still in their strength, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only, that did Joshua burn. And all the spoil of these cities, and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey unto themselves. But every man they smote with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them. Neither left there any to breathe.
Right. So everybody was destroyed. Nobody was ever alive. Read. You know.
As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses.
Right. So there was an order. The Most High commanded Moses, and Moses commanded the same order, commanded unto Joshua. And Joshua did exactly what the Most High said was to be done. Read on.
So Joshua took all that land, the hills, and all the south country, and all the land of Goshen, and the valley, and the plain, and the mountain of Israel, and the valley of the same, even from Mount Hor, even unto Mount Halak, that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baal Gad, in the valley of Lebanon.
So the land that Israel captured, it wasn't just Israel, land of Israel. It was land roundabout. You know what I'm saying? It was like a land of surrounding Israel, the territories. Read on.
In the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon, and all their kings he took, and smote them, and slew them. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel.
Right. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel. So all those nations were warring against Israel. None of them except one nation. Read on. Read 19 again. Read verse 19 again.
There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hittites, the inhabitations of Gibeon.
Right. There was not one nation that made peace with Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. If you all know, the inhabitants of Gibeon were the ones who were near to Israel, but pretended to be far off. Came in all those old clothes, old food, the molded foods and all that, and said, "Be from a foreign country." You know what I mean? We got old clothes, old food, and all that. Make an alliance with us. We'll serve you. That's the this Gibeonites. That's the only nation that Israel been covenant with. And this very same nation, Gibeonites, the other nation about them, attacked them. And when they were attacked by those other nations, they had to run to Israel, run to us, to beg us to defend them. Which we did, because they tricked us into to make an alliance with them. So we just made them slaves, bondmen. He was of water, he was of stones, he was of woods and all that. You know what I'm saying? So to build up our nation, that's what we did. Because we took the word, and because we are people who keep our covenants, other nation, some other nation would say, "Yo, you lied to us, forget you, slaughter them." But that's not the spirit of Israel. If we make a covenant with you, we're going to keep a covenant with you. Just like with Rahab, the harlot, or who protected the spies, the Israelite spies were in their land. Yeah, we said, okay, you know what? You look for us, we're going to protect you, we're going to defend you. We're going to slaughter your people, but hey, we got you. Don't worry about it. That's this like these people Gibeon, must have said, you know what? We're going to slaughter all these people run about you, but for you, okay. We made a covenant with you, so we're going to honor our covenant. We're going to defend you. Don't worry about it. Read on.
All other they took in battle. Mm-hmm. For it was of the Most High to harden their hearts, that they should not that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them as the Lord commanded Moses.
Right. The Moses hosts of battle, man. So the Moses, listen, the Moses hardened the house of Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
When we were coming to Egypt, the Moses hardened the hearts of these different nations to come against Israel, so we could go up against them in battle and destroy them, because the Moses didn't want them to be around Israel. Understand? So the Moses hardened their arms to fight against us, so we could go up against them in war and battle and defeat them. Go, oh, you got that?
Romans 9:17.
But that Romans 9:17. Romans 9:17.
The book of Romans chapter 9 verse 17. For the scriptures saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee.
Right. So even for the same purpose, I'm going to raise thee up, so I can show my power in thee. So the Most High has the ability to raise up different nations, so he can show the power in him, or his power against them. Read it.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he harden.
Right. So the Most High can raise up any different nations, harden their hearts, to fight against anybody else like Israel. So what? So he can show his dominance over them. That it's not us who are fighting against the nation, but the Spirit of the Most High in us who are fighting against the nations. You know, I'll go back to Joshua.
The book of Joshua chapter 11 verse 21. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims from the mountains.
Well, what are the Anakims? They were like giants. Different ethnic groups of giants in the land. Anakims are like giants in the land. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims from the mountains. Anakims are like giants, who are like made of physical stature above the other people, even the people of their own ethnic group or other ethnic groups. That's what the Anakims were. Read on.
From Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities.
Right. So these Anakim giants were men of renown. You know what I'm saying? Who pose a threat or a dominance over other people, their own people, or people run about. But the Most High rose Israel up to destroy them. These Anakims. Understand? Right. Read on.
There was none of the
So that the Most High can raise Israel up to destroy anybody. Because right now it looks like Esau, they're not physically the statue is the same as ours, but they got the military the military mind that, you know what I'm saying? But the Most High can destroy any military. And it came with its physical power, or military power, or anything, because of finance, whatever. The Most High can destroy them at any given point in time. Read on.
There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel.
There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. So the Anakims, we could say, this is one like ethnic groups of the of giants. Anakims, remember that name? Anakims. They were destroyed when they first went into the land. Understand? The Anakims were destroyed by Joshua and the Israelites when they first went into the homeland. Read on. There was none remaining of them. Read on.
There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, in the Ashdod, there remained.
Right. But the Anakims were in other places. They were in Gaza, and they were in Ashdod, and they were in Gath, in other lands roundabout. So the Anakims are like a sort of threat. You know?
So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Adawan said unto Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes. And the land rested from war.
Right. So Joshua took the land from these different nations and gave it to the Israelites according to the population, according to the population of the different tribes. Right. So Joshua chapter 12.
Book of Joshua chapter 12, verse 1. Now these are the kings of the land, which the children of Israel smote and possessed their land on the other side of Jordan, toward the rising of the sun. From the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the plain of the east. Zion, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from an which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from the half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon. And from the plain to the sea, of Shin Nirath on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even to the Salt Sea on the east, and the way of Besh Jish Emath, and from the south under Ashdod, Pishgal, and the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt at Ashtaroth, and at Ed Rei.
Right. So the Mosai tell you different nations that Israel conquered in going into the homeland. Once you cross over River Jordan, the different nations the Mosai put into the hands of the children of Israel. I'm saying the Ammonites, Gileadite, Jabbok, Beth Cherah, up in the south, under the Ashtaroth. So, different nations, the Mosai gave into the land, into the Amorites, into the hand of Israel. Read on, verse 5.
Verse 5. And reigned in Mount Hermon, and Saul in the all of Bashan unto the border of the Jeshurites, and Maacathites, and the half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses, the servant of the Adawan, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Adawan, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Right. So these different nations were on the east side of River Jordan. And Moses smote those different nations and gave the land to Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh. Read.
And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan on the west, from Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak, that goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for possession according to their divisions. In the mountains and in the valleys, and in the plains, and in the springs, and in the wilderness, and in the south country, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, the king of Jericho, one, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, one, the king of...
Right. So the Moses says about named the different nations that he gave as possession into the hand of the Israelites. Read on.
The king of Jerusalem.
It's a long list.
Yeah.
It's a long list of different nations the Most High slaughtered. I just keep it slaughtered and put into the hand of the Israelites. So trust me. Read on.
Verse 10, the king of Jerusalem, one, the king of Hebron, one, the king of Jarmuth, one, the king of Lachish, one, the king of Eglon, one, the king of Kazir, one, the king of Debir, one, the king of Geber, one, the king of Hormah, one, the king of Arad, one, the king of Libnah, one, the king of Adullam, one, the king of Makkedah, one, the king of Bethel, one, the king of Tappuah, one, the king of Hefer, one, the king of Apek, one, the king of Lashar, Neam of Carmel, one, the king of Dor in the coast of Dor, one, the king of the nations, one, Tirzah, one, all the kings, 30 and 1.
I see that? 30 and 1 kings. Most 30 and 1 kings. The Most High delivered into the hands of Israel. 31 kings, man. 70. 31 different nations the Most High delivered into the hand of Israel. Yeah. Without failure. Now, chapter 13. Chapter 13.
The book of Joshua, chapter 13, verse 1. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years. And the one said unto him, Thou art old and stricken in years, and there remaineth yet very much land to be possessed.
Right. Yeah, see that? 31 countries the Most High delivered to Israel under Joshua. Joshua was so old, the Most High said, oh, yo. You captured 31 countries, but there's a whole lot more. The whole lot more land and people need to be captured. Almost I said, read on.
Thou art old and stricken in years, and there remaineth yet very much land to be possessed.
Right.
This is the land that yet remaineth, all the borders of the Philistines, and all Geshuri from Sihor, which is before Egypt, even unto the borders of Ekron, northward, which is counted to the Canaanite, 5 lords of the Philistines, and the Gazaphites, and the Ashdodites, and the Ekkolonites, and the Gittites, and the Ekronites, and the Avites. From the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Merah, that is beside the Sidonians, unto Apek, to the borders of the Amorites, and the land of the Gibeonites, and all Lebanon toward the sun rising from Baal Gad under Mount Hermon unto the entering into Hamath, all the inhabitations of the hill country from Lebanon unto Mishrephah Maim, and all the Zidonians, them will I drive out from before the children of Israel. Only divide thou it by lot unto the Israelites for an inheritance, as I have commanded thee.
Right. So even though Joshua captured a whole lot of lands, the most I say what? You got to capture a whole lot more lands. Because all this land was basically what? Belonged to who? Hamites. The Hamites. Southern Africans. You know what I'm saying? The most I say what here. There's a whole lot more lands that need that they're gonna give to Israel. Besides the land of Israel, there are other lands on the outskirts that's right now being occupied by the Philistines and other Hamite nations. But in due time, I'm going to give that land to you Israelites, just to keep my commandments. Read on.
Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance unto the 9 tribes, and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Right. So the land, I think the land that Moses was going to give to Israel, he said, divide this land unto the 9 tribes and the half tribes of Manasseh. Why did Moses say that? Because previously, Reuben and Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh had got the lands on the eastern part of River Jordan. So for these new lands now, the Moses is talking about were on the west side of River Jordan, which were to be divided to the 9 tribes, other 9 tribes, and half tribe of Manasseh. Reuben and Gad had already got their land on the west side, on the east side, because those lands are suitable for cattle rearing and all that. But so the most guy said, yo, there's a whole lot more land now that I'm going to give to you, Israelites. Because get Deuteronomy 32:8. And always got to go to the scripture. Because the Mosai, before he even went into the homeland, the Mosai decided how he was going to divide the land to the Israelites before we were even a nation of people. Deuteronomy 32, verse 8.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
When the Most High divided to the nation his inheritance. Read it again now. Read it again.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
When the Most High divided to the nations, all nations, their inheritance, because the Most High decided that the other nations also that was going to get their inheritance. According to what? Read on.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
When he separated the sons of Adam. When he did what? Separated the sons of Adam. What does it mean that the Most High separated the sons of Adam? Because right now, all people are talking about unity. The Most High is not about unity. The Most High is about separation. Specifically, it's about separation of us Hebrew Israelites from the other nations. Not physically per se, because we are still amongst other nations, but we have to be separated from them, what? Spiritually. When the Moses separated the sons of Adam, you here for the first time? You understand what that means?
When he separated his sons.
Yeah. When he separated the sons of Adam,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean?
I guess it means he chose a people for himself.
Yeah, well, when you say he separated the spirit together,
When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance,
when he divided the nations among the, read it again.
when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance,
When the Moses divided to the nations their inheritance, what does that mean?
That means he set us apart.
When he divided to the nations their inheritance,
That means every nation have land, whatever they're supposed to get.
right? Inheritance, their inheritance, right? Take it right. Read on.
when he separated the sons of Adam,
When it separated the sons of Adam, what does that mean? When it separated the sons of Adam, who are the sons of Adam?
All the nations.
You're right, brother.
Yeah.
Got a pop?
Yeah.
Get it. Second Ezra 6:54. Second Ezra 6:54.
But he chose Israel.
When it separated the sons of Adam.
He didn't give all nations the law, but he gave the law to the 12 tribes.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You're here, down to something.
Book of 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 54. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures,
And after these also, Adam, who he made laws of all his creatures, beyond.
of him come we all,
Of him came we all. What does that mean? We all came from Adam, right?
Yeah, all nations.
All came from Adam. Because what? Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah, and his son, 3 sons. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, they all came from Adam. Read on.
of him come we all,
We all came from Adam. Read on.
and the people also whom thou hast chosen,
And the people also whom you chosen. Now the Most High making a distinction. Understand? You understand this distinction?
Yeah.
All people came from Adam. And the people whom he chosen. Understand? All people came from Adam, but of all those people who came from Adam, there was a particular nation of those people whom the Most High chose as a people to himself, whom he gave the laws, statutes, and commandments to, and whom he placed above all the other nations on earth. This was long before we were even a nation. This go on. This after we were a nation. Read on.
all this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
See that? There was a particular prophet, Esdras. We always had some, back in the days, we always had some prophets who were always the Most High's, so to speak, his face. And Most High, always attacking the Most High. But Most High, always, looking for the people. But Most High, you said this, you said that, you said, antagonizing the Most High. But you say, you want to do this for people. It's all coming on, you know what I'm saying? What's up? But you said, you're going to deliver us. You said, you're going to do this for us. But over here, we see you doing this, and we see this happening now, you know what I mean? But you're looking at what we're doing for our people, I'm saying. So this brother Esdras was one of those people. Or prophets always had that spirit in them. This brother Esdras was one of them. Read again.
After these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Of Adam give me all, read on.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen. So all people came from Adam, but of all the people came from Adam, there was a particular people whom the Most High chose distinctively above all the other nations, people, which we are. You know? So don't let no one tell you that our people are equal. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no one tell you we are equal. We're not. Even though we are right now we're at the bottom, we are at the bottom because of our disobedience. But once we acknowledge our disobedience, and the Most High decides when He's going to forgive us of our disobedience, you're going to see us rising again. You're going to see us rising again above other nations. He's prophesying the scriptures. Read on.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
But the Most High what?
For thou hast made us the world for our sakes.
The Most High made a world for our sakes. The Most High made a world for Israel's sakes. But guess what though? The Most High made a world for Israel's sakes, but He made Israel for His sakes. The Most High made the world for our sakes, but He made Israel for His sakes, and our sake was what? To serve the Most High. You see the relation, get Revelation 11:4. Scripture 11, Revelation. Revelation 20. The scripture. It must have been. We're created to serve the Most High. In the scripture. I think it's Revelation 4. Well, let me get it. I get it. Revelation 4 verse 11. The Most High made us. He made a world for our sakes, when He made us for His sakes to serve Him. Revelation 4 verse 11.
Book of Revelation chapter 4 verse 11. Thou art worthy, O are the one.
Thou art worthy, talking about the owl shot. Right?
To receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created.
Right. So, Mashiach is worthy, for thou hast created all things. Mashiach created all things according to all the Most High. Already, our shall created those things, and for the pleasure they were created. They are and were created. So all those things, everything that created, were created for the pleasure of the Most High, the Mashiach. So we were created to serve them. Just like we created the world for our sakes, we as people were created for their sakes, for their pleasure, to praise the Most High, the Mashiach. All right, go back to Joshua.
Book of Joshua chapter 13 verse 7. 13 verse 7. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance unto the 9 tribes, and the half tribe of Manasseh, with whom the Reubenites, and the Gadites have received their inheritance, which Moses gave them beyond Jordan eastward, even as Moses the servant of the Adwan gave them, and Arnor, that is upon the bank of the river of Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain of Midian, Mid-Ebah unto Dibon, and all the city of Sion, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, unto the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of Geshurites, and the Macaphites, and all Mount Harmon, and all Bashan, unto Salcah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, which reigned in Ashtaroth, and Ed-Rei, who remained of the remnant of the giants. For these did Moses smite and cast them out. Nevertheless, the children of Israel expelled not the Geshurites, nor the Maacathites, but the Geshurites and the Maacathites dwell among the children of among the Israelites until this day.
Right. So, because the Most High and left a remnant of the nation among Israel to test the Israelites to see if Israel was gonna keep the Most High's commandments or conform to the ways of the other nations. That's why the Most High left a remnant of the other nations amongst them. Right?
Only unto the tribe of Levi he gave none inheritance. The sacrifices of the Adwan power of Israel made by fire are an inheritance, as he said unto them. And Moses gave unto the tribe of the children of Reuben inheritance according to their families. And their coast was from Ar, that is on the bank of the river Arnon, on the city, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain of Med-Ebah, Heshbon, and all her cities that are in the plain, Dibon, and Bamoth Baal, and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaza, and Ked-Emoth, and Meth-Aath, and Kirjathaim, and Sidma, and Zareth Shahar in the mouth of the valley, and Beth Peor, and Ashdoth Pishgah, and Beth Gesh-Emoth, and all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Zion, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses smote with the princes of Midian, Evi, and Rekem, and Zor, and Hor, and Rebah, which were dukes of Zion, dwelling in the country. Balaam also the son of Beor, the smoothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that were slain by them. And the border of the children of Reuben was Jordan, and the border thereof. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben, after their families, and the cities, and the villages thereof. And Moses gave an inheritance unto the tribe of Gad, even unto the children of Gad, according to their families. And their coast was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon, and unto Ar or that is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon unto Ramath Mizpeh, and Bet Onim, and from Mahanaim unto the border of Debir, and in the valley, Beth Aram, and Beth Animra, and Succoth, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdoms of Zion, king of Heshbon. Jordan and his border, even unto the edge of the city of Chin-Nereth, on the other side Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad after their families, the cities and their villages. And Moses gave an inheritance unto the half tribe of Manasseh, and this was the possession of the half tribe of the children of Manasseh by their families.
Right. So the Most High, okay, Most I give Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh land that was suitable for the cattle rearing on the eastern portion of Jordan. All right, that's what that's talking about. You know.
And their coast was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 80 cities, and have Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, cities of the kingdoms of Og and Bashan, were pertaining unto the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, even to the one half of the children of Machir by their families. These are the countries which Moses did distribute for the inheritance in the plains of Moab, on the other side of Jordan, by Jericho eastward, but unto the tribe of Levi Moses gave not any inheritance. The one power of Israel was their inheritance, as he said unto them.
Right. So the Most High get all the different tribes inheritance land, but the tribe of Levi didn't get any physical land as the inheritance. Their inheritance was on, the sacrifices the different tribes would bring. And from that sacrifice the different tribes would bring, Levi would get a portion of that for their sustenance, for the food and all, all that. So we're going to conclude that. 10 o'clock on the dot. So the brothers are going to get ready for to go to camp tonight. Most are willing tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. We're going to reconvene again for the shower service. So we're going to Shabbat Shalom. I'll do it from more side. God, so much God shout out to all the people who are on live stream, YouTube, wherever, online. God, so much God shout most I willing tomorrow. Reconvene again at if available 2937 West Broad Boulevard. God, so much God shout. And Marty Mopandia, you're right, got it. Okay, I just Psalm 133. Shayar, Alwa, Larawa, Anam, Sawam, Wama, Ayam, Shabbat, Akyam, Gam, Yakar, Kashaman, Atawa, Araash, Yarad, Zakwan, Aran, Shayarad, Paya, Badawakyawa, Atal, Karamwan, Shayarad, Araya, Kazawan, Sham, Kazawa, Hawa, Abaraka, Kayawam, Awalam, Ba'asham, Mashiach, Awashai, Tawara, Aman.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Idol One commanded the blessing, even for life, even life forevermore. Adonai Hashem Hashem Kavashai, the one from Yad Aman.
Amen.
So much, God, child.
Are you